Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
How is your, if we are single by 30, we're getting married, friend doing? With us it was, if we are still single at 65 let's just move in together, at least we like each other. We met first year at university and have been close friends ever since. She died of breast cancer at 63. Miss her every day. I lost mine as well. We met during high school. I went to her funeral this year. She was only 27. Sorry for your loss, friend. Condolences. The young ones are hardest. She told me that 5 years ago. I said, why not just try dating now? We did. We're married now, laughing face. Why wait? This man hacked the system. Marriage pact partners hate this one trick. She's been living a wild life. We made the pact at 22. She got married by 24. Divorced by 25. New relationship and got pregnant at 26. Married at 28 and divorced at 30. In that time she dropped out of college. Went back to college. Completed her associates. Got nailed for a few drug charges and is currently fighting for custody of her kid with the dad. So when's the wedding? Right after the next divorce. I'm marrying him in November. Well, marrying him to another woman. I'm their officiant, laughing face. So when he said, I want you to marry me, it didn't mean what it sounded like. They've been priest zoned. It's a more extreme form of friend zoning. This actually did happen for a friend of mine and his wife. But it was more of a conversation along the lines of, hey, remember that pact we made when we were 18 about getting married at 30 if we were both single? Well, we are now 30 and single. Did you want to give dating a shot? 5 years later and they are now happily married. I have no idea why they didn't give dating a shot years before. But that's none of my business. Sometimes there's no good reason why people didn't get together sooner. Maybe one or both were always too nervous to bring it up. But they found each other pretty early in life, so that's good. Getting together sooner might end up being even worse. One or both aren't matured, experienced, know themselves, etc. If my ex met me at 18 instead of 23, we'd have had a terrible time probably. I was noticeably different person and was looking for something different in a person. His wife has banned him from speaking to me. Ouch, ouch. This is actually my time to shine. I met Lisa when I was in high school through a mutual friend. Lisa lived about 4 hours, but we kept in touch by writing letters. This was in the 1980s. We met up for a spring break trip at the beach and got along well since we hadn't seen each other in several years. We both went to different colleges and dated on and off some during our college years. After college we dated, then she went to Germany for 3 years. We'd see each other casually when she'd come home, but nothing serious. When she came back home from Germany we started seeing each other again. We made a pact that if we were not married by 30 we'd get married. We drifted apart a bit at 29 years old and we were both dating other people. She ended up marrying the person she was dating and I ended up marrying the person I was dating. We both went to each other's weddings with our respective SOs. We'd meet as couples and go to dinner sometimes and once vacation together for a long weekend. Our kids went to the same school for a while, too. Then we lost touch for about 5 years. Until one day I ran into Lisa at a local Starbucks. I heard someone call my name and it was Lisa. We hugged and caught up for a while. I then asked her how her husband was doing and she said they split up about a year ago. She asked about my wife and I told her we split about 10 months ago. We looked at each other and I asked her if she'd meet me for coffee the next day and she immediately said yes. We dated for several years and got married in December 2021. That's a lot to happen in Lisa's 4-hour lifespan. I've made that pact with so many people that I hope no one comes to make claims when I turn 30. So about our pact. Fuck. I knew this day was coming. She's married to my good friend. But things are rocky. I just got divorced, so maybe we'll revisit this in our 40s. Just kidding. Edit. Thanks for the love. I actually just saw my good friend last week. That's when he shared they had discussed the D word, and that he cheated on her once. I said if he wanted to keep her, don't ever tell her about that and don't do it again. Also, he may want to cut down on drinking. She's also a good friend of mine, so I know that's one of her gripes. I really don't want him to split because I'm so proud of them. They are former heroin addicts that successfully kicked addiction and they have 2 kids. Unless. No. Well, maybe. Narrator. He was not just kidding. We both got married before 30 to other people. She married a cool dude and had 4 kids. They had a beautiful family and so do I. I was genuinely happy for her and glad we didn't end up with each other. She died of cancer a few years ago when her youngest kid was still in elementary school. My heart breaks for her and her family. I feel closer to them than they realize because I knew her since middle school. I think of them often and hope they are finding peace and happiness in this crazy life. I lost contact with mine. Hadn't talked to her in over 20 years, but same deal. She married a pretty cool dude, had 3 kids and just an awesome family. Last I heard she lost one of her children at around 13. I feel absolutely awful for her and her family. I also feel like a POS because I never reached out to her. You know that saying about the best time to plant a tree? Well, it doesn't have to be only about trees. Please reach out to them. My husband died 2 years ago and our kids, 11 and 8 now, would love the opportunity to hear about their dad when he was younger. Pictures, stories, videos, all of it. It would of course make them cry, but it would be a good kind of grief cry. And they would return to those stories and pictures again and again. My mom was murdered by her abuser. They'd been together almost all of my childhood when her and my dad split 6 years ago, and I'd give anything for God stories about her. All I get are stories about how weak she was, or higher upsetting it is she never left him. Or I get shitty stories from our dad about how she was nice but never cleaned, or she could have done better but had low self-esteem, etc. Pisses me off because I know she was weak and had low self-esteem, and honestly, I don't have many good memories about her, with her. But I know that's not the only person she was. She had 30 to 32 years of her life before she met him. I was around 6, and I saw how she could be sometimes. My mom loved to laugh and loved to dance and loved to live, but no one ever tells me those stories. I don't even talk to anyone who used to know her because no one was there before or after she died. My dad was only there because at first they thought they never divorced. So he had power to make decisions. And then when he realized he didn't, he took my sisters. I was 18 and they were 16 and almost 14. And I had to handle it. I have no pictures of her. She hated pictures for one. And I gave up fighting for anything and just let my little sisters have everything. The only thing I do have is her Tahoe, which she loved and was so proud of. And then her ashes. But I'd rather have happy memories.